During the Lost World, after the buck Tyrannosaurus Rex and its infant are taken by InGen to the mainland, it is implied that the Tyrannosaur woke up and broke free from its restraints, killing and eating most of the crew before it was locked away within the cargo hold of the ship. This would result in the Venture crashing into the pier it was supposed to dock at, with the buck once again breaking free and raining chaos across San Diego, causing the San Diego incident and allowing the general public to know about the existence of InGen's dinosaurs. Long after the release of The Lost World, many would theorize that the buck couldn't have killed all of the crew members within the ship due to the amount of damage on the ship, as well as where the victims were located on the vessel, leading many to believe that some of the crew were possibly killed by Velociraptors that stowed away on the Venture before its departure from Isla Sorna, and upon the buck's brief escape from its confines, the Velociraptors also attacked, taking out some of the crew themselves. Another interesting detail to note for this theory in particular is the events and story that we see in Jurassic Park 3, where during the end of that movie, we see that 3 Pertinatans would escape the confines of the aviary located on Isla Sorna and flee the island, with the survivors seeing this as they were rescued by the US Navy. We later learned that these Pertinatans would reach Canada before they were eventually cleaned up by Vic Hoskins, which would gain the attention of Simon Masserani, who promoted Vic to head of InGen's security division. This would show that even after the San Diego incident and before the incident at the Lockwood Manor, dinosaurs have escaped into the mainland, with InGen going to great lengths to cover these escapes up before they got out of hand and into the public and media's eye. With all of this in mind, my theory is that before the SS Venture would leave Isla Sorna with the buck and infant T-Rexes, some of Sorna's Velociraptors would sneak their way into the ship, stowing away within the lower levels of the vessel while the buck was kept on the deck. However, when the buck would wake up and cause trouble, the Velociraptors would also make their move, attacking the crew alongside the Rex and eventually retreating back to the lower levels once the buck was trapped there. Upon the Venture crashing into the pier and Buck escaping into the city, the Velociraptors would also leave the ship under the commotion, slipping away into the night unnoticed and uncontainable after the Tyrannosaurs were recaptured and transported back to Isla Sorna. They could have caused their own problems long after the San Diego incident, with people making several reports of their presence on the mainland, which would eventually lead to InGen covering up these reports and hunting the Velociraptors down, with this possibly launching Hoskins' interest in Owen's Velociraptor pack years later during Jurassic World.